Hello? Okay, I think we're live. This feels so weird. I haven't streamed in probably over a year. Yeah, so I don't know how many people are gonna end up watching this. But I figured I would talk a little bit before the 3.0 live stream starts. Since I don't really do videos where I talk directly to you guys. So in the meantime, I'm also going to be just working on this thumbnail since it's something easy I can do while talking. But basically, yeah, it's been a while. I have not done anything Genshin related in a while, which I know is kind of weird since that's what most people originally subscribed to me for. But I just haven't really kept up with Genshin. I kind of lost interest in the game for a little while, and then it just ended up piling up more and more, and then eventually got to a point where I was like, okay, well, if I want to get back into it now, there's a lot that I have to catch up on. So because of that, I've been putting it off, but I've still been really enjoying Star Rail and making videos about Star Rail, and I feel like the gameplay of Star Rail does mesh a lot more with the types of videos that I want to make. So I'm probably gonna have Star Rail focused content for the foreseeable future. Not opposed to making stuff about Genshin, but it just might be a long time. Play Limbus Company. Unfortunately, I have my hands tied with all the other games I'm playing, and that's basically just keeping up with Star Rail, you know, so I can make videos. But I've also been playing a lot of Zenless. Well, not that much, but like enough to keep up with the updates, and I've actually been really enjoying it. It's kind of weird. I really like Star Rail for the gameplay, but Zenless, I really enjoy it for the story. Like, that's the main thing keeping me there, because the gameplay is like, it's not bad. I like it, but it's just like whatever to me. I think I like how the story is like very grounded, and I feel like it makes the characters more relatable. So for that reason, sticking with ZZ for the game or for the story, and Star Rail for the gameplay. Star Rail, I feel like the story just goes over my head most of the time, even though I try to pay attention. Maybe I've gotten dumber over the years, but I just cannot like stick around in Star Rail story for the life of me. But that said, I still am excited for Amphorius. I think it'll be pretty good. Oh wait, I just realized my timer was off. 25. Yeah, I'll start in 25. Whoops, kind of forgot that I had that up there. And I did not reset it when I started the stream. So recently I've been doing a lot more of this like 3D modeling type stuff. I mean, okay, maybe not modeling, because these aren't my models. These are like the official models. And I didn't really make any of this stuff, like the shader, the rig. But I am able to do enough where I can pose them and kind of get some decent looking thumbnails. It's a lot nicer, because before what I had to do was just take stills from other like Toyverse pre-rendered like videos or cutscenes, stuff that they post on their YouTube channel. But now I can basically make memes with Star Rail characters, and I feel like it makes for pretty funny thumbnails. But I still, for the most part, don't really know what I'm doing in Blender. I kind of just mess around with stuff until I get something that looks kind of okay. I think I set up my face shape keys. Oh, I did not. Okay, if I do this and open my script. Oh, I shouldn't say my script, someone else wrote this. I don't even know what it really does, to be honest. But that should allow me to, after I fix his orientation, should have my shape keys set up so that I can pose his facial expressions. Yeah, here we go. So now I can do cool stuff like this. Sunday and Fugue. I think Sunday is pretty cool, but it's kind of hard to gauge, you know, like exactly how he's gonna shape up with the other summon characters in the game when they come out. So that's another reason why I want to watch this live, because usually recently I haven't been watching like any of the live stream reveals for any of the games, but I am really curious to see how the Remembrance characters work, because I haven't looked at like any leaks or anything. But I mean, still, he does kinda, I feel like he's maybe a little bit too similar to Bronya than I would have liked. I feel like they kind of are in the same niche, even though Sunday does have like the extra crit damage for summons. Like pretty much in any situation where you'd want to use Bronya, you'd use Sunday because of the skill point efficiency and the energy generation. I feel like the only like slight niche Bronya would have over him is in scenarios where you don't use any where you're not using, or when you don't need energy on your carry. So for that reason, I think besides that, I have no problems with Sunday. And Fugue is pretty cool, but I haven't really used her that much yet. Since there wasn't any like new drop for Memory of Chaos or anything, I haven't really gotten to use her. But I do think that her design makes a lot of sense, and it's nice that it kind of buffs Boothill and Rappa, who were the other breaks DPSs that, unlike Firefly, didn't get weakness implant. Weakness implant is just so strong. So yeah, I mean, it's cool that the other characters that get more off of their like initial breaks, like Boothill stacking up his pocket trick shot and then Rappa getting her 10 stacks, Fugue helps a lot with that, which is really nice. So I think they're both pretty well designed. I don't think I'd make a video on them because I feel like there's not that much to say. Like the analysis is pretty surface level, but yeah, I think they're both pretty cool. Okay, so the shape keys give me a good bit of options with facial expression, but sometimes they end up looking a little weird. Sometimes I have to combine these. So it's like, okay, this one is like big smile, bigger smile, and well, sometimes they look a little creepy, to be honest. Some of them, like this just looks like that one Roblox face. They have ones for each like vowel and consonant sound, which is pretty cool, but I haven't really tried animating in Blender yet, so lip syncing sounds really cool, but also really tedious and hard. Okay, so yeah, that looks about right. And then maybe we'll raise the eyebrows up a little, maybe make them less angled. Yeah, usually I don't like messing with the eyes too much because it makes their expression change a lot. Like, it's kind of cool how even like subtle changes to the eye shape give off a lot of emotion. But in this case, I kind of want like a more neutral expression, so probably won't touch the eyes. And then I also need to apply this stuff to still so I could do hers. Okay, should be set up now. What did I mess up? What did I do wrong? Well, okay, so basically why I use 3D models for my thumbnails is because posing a model is much easier than me drawing it myself. Like, I could pull up an example. So like, oops, let me turn off my orange filter. So this is a thumbnail that I made a while ago. Honestly, kind of not that great, but I had to like kind of trace and draw, which I'm not that good at drawing, to be honest, over like the meme, the let her cook or let him cook meme. And doing that took a lot of time. Like I basically did like the whole drawing process, like sketch pencil, ink it, and then fill in the colors. And since I'm not that experienced in drawing, it was really slow since I don't know how to make like my process more efficient. So instead, being able to just grab the model and pose them exactly how I want to, it's pretty nice. And I also just think a lot of times they look better. Like, this one's one of my favorites. Just like being able to have full control over the composition and being able to make like smaller edits is really nice, because especially because I'm like pretty picky with my thumbnails. Like this one was my initial thumbnail for my aventurine video. But then I was able to make a second one that had a slightly different composition. This one ended up doing better anyway too, so that was nice. But you know, if I was drawing it, I would have to do a whole new drawing, but instead I can just repose the model and move it over a little bit. And it also just looks pretty good, so I could do funny things like like this. Like this probably wouldn't have the same effect if I tried drawing it. And I'm able to... Okay, here's the thumbnail for my next video, actually. I'm pretty proud of this one. I feel like it came out pretty good. I'll show you the reference. Like me trying to draw this or draw over it in some capacity would definitely take a long time. Probably not look that good, but yeah, I was able to match the poses really well. And the process is not that difficult. I mean, it was kind of a big learning curve, like trying to start doing it, but yeah, definitely works well for what I'm trying to do now. And I was always kind of amazed when I saw other video game thumbnails like TF2 is one in particular, because they have Source Filmmaker on Steam for free where players can do similar stuff. So for a long time now, they've had like really cool and creative thumbnails. I always thought that was really neat, so being able to do it myself is pretty cool. Okay, now did I fix? No. Okay, I guess I'll have to import a new still. I don't remember the name, but someone made this setup wizard, which is super nice. Makes it really easy to just like import the character models right in. Because otherwise there would be a lot of like nodes and texture stuff that you'd have to input manually, but this makes it really simple. You just pop it in. Okay, so I'm going to append this shape key data. Actions. Open up this action editor. Just put anyone on. I don't think it matters. Then the script. This should work. Sucked face. Okay. See, now they're here. I don't know what I was doing wrong before on the other one, but I think we should be able to just copy this in. There you go. And okay, this guy's basically making the same exact face. I think it was just this mouth and I guess she doesn't have as much of an angry default expression, so probably don't have to do much here. Yeah, I'll just do that. That's probably good enough. And then sometimes these like weird lines can show up on the lips, so for that I just need to make sure I set the camera. Yeah. Do the same for him. Okay. I probably should have set up all that stuff before, but now I can pose them, which is the much easier part. Let me just hide all the extra stuff that kind of gets in the way first. Am I planning to cosplay any character? I mean, okay. I feel like I was way in over my head for that Scaramouche cosplay, and I mean it actually it didn't turn out that bad, but I didn't feel that great about how it turned out either. I also just think the way I structured and produced that video was not that great. So I don't know. I'm not completely opposed to it, but I don't think I would do it the same way, like where I made this stuff from scratch. That was way too hard. I don't know why I decided to do that. I'd probably just buy one if anything, even though I know sometimes the quality is dubious. But no plans right now. Maybe at 100,000 subscribers, that could be something funny, but I don't know. I feel like that wouldn't translate well into a video, and I don't know how much I'm going to be live streaming in the future, so I'd say probably like low % chance of that happening. Well, first I need to figure out this framing. Okay, let's lock the camera there and then move. Nope, don't. So, there's some really cursed things that can happen with these characters, because I mean it's nice that they're all rigged up and you can like move them wherever, but then if you like grab the wrong bone and then do something like, no, not there. Where is it? They usually have one that's linked to like their entire oh, this is not in front, that's why. It's one link to their entire face, so you could do like something. Actually, it didn't even stretch. Usually it stretches. Hold on. You could do stuff like this. Love when that happens. Okay, I'll put that back. Okay, I feel like I should have placed them and then put the reference in, because having this in the background is messing me up. Yeah, the stuff with like the stretch is super common in like TF2 animated videos. Okay, it seems like the live stream reveal, or like the official live stream, is gonna go up soon, but then there's like a 5-minute countdown, so I'll pull it up once the countdown is close to finished. And yeah, there it is. 5 minutes. feel like still definitely needs to be closer to the camera. Not that. Yeah, I feel like it's almost there. Okay, never mind. The pose is definitely off. There's a countdown right now. It's 3 minutes. And then I'll switch it over. I'll switch it over at 1. I think I saw stuff about the singer from YOASOBI. I don't know if they're showing this song on the stream. I feel like if there's any time for them to like put it, I know it's coming out at some point today, so I feel like it just makes sense for it to be on the live stream. So if it is, that will be something cool to look forward to. I'm glad the Zenless Zone Zero album just got put up on Spotify. That song actually, or this game actually has so many bangers. All the background tracks that I've played so far have been from Zenless. I feel like such a good range. Okay, it's getting close. That is an okay point to finish that later on. Okay, I have no expectations. I think Aglaia and Herda will be cool to find out how they actually play. It's kind of loud. I hope it's not too loud for you guys. Aglaia will be free. That's very hopeful. I mean, first anniversary is not for another 3 months. I do like the Greek theme though. That should be really cool. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm not caught up with the Honkai Impact 3rd lore, so... Oh, this is the song. It's the singer from YOASOBI. Yeah, we're getting... we're getting so many new characters. This is bad for my wallet. banger song. Okay, I'll come back and like freeze frame it so we can look at this later. Yeah, I spent for every character. Just one copy, no Eidolons, no Litecoin. I mean, it like kind of a business expense because I do make videos out of it, and it's nice to have every character just so I can have them for later if I ever want to talk about them.
The world has a day-night cycle. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. 这里是崩坏新隧道3.0版本再创时的凯歌前瞻特别节目，我是主持人麋鹿。
Dude, the set designers always go off.
新的一年里，我们也即将迎来一个全新的世界——翁法罗斯，展开一段全新的开拓之旅。那接下来，嘉宾老师呢？
来了，
不好意思，地方太大了，有点迷路。潮流发。
That's cool. I think they have like a big screen set up in the back so that they can have like the background from the game.
Happy New Year, dear Trailblazers. This is 烧鸡。
大家好，我是 TT。
They are dripped out for this.
那两位都是老朋友了，这里就不多做介绍，让我们直奔主题吧。我真的有一肚子的问题想要问你们啊。
这么开门见山，那您请说。
当然是关于翁法罗斯的了。
I just recently got all my characters to level 80 because of the wrap-up patch only having one new character. I was able to spend the rest of that patch just upgrading. I wanted to consider all the characters built, but they're at least all level 80. And for relics, I just switch them between characters whenever I need to use them. It's kind of bad that I don't have a full relic set for each character.
2.7的开拓任务已经给大家揭晓了，三重命途中的其中一重是智石，而第二
Okay, they're mostly talking about lore stuff right now, which I'm not super in touch with.
对，那么第三重命途嘛，它潜藏在智石和记忆的光芒之下，还不是很清晰，就连我们现在也不是很清楚。
Okay, it's probably going to be a big reveal what the third path is
反正在 3.0 的
for
上是肯定不清楚。
Emporius.
不过可以给大家透露一下，普通的命途行者是没有办法在异庭的镜子中留下痕迹的。那翁法罗斯可以被异庭给观测到，证明这个世界诞生过至少3位堪比令史的存在。
堪比令史，还至少3位，风水宝地啊
Oh my god, we're getting 3 Acherons.
星神本尊垂迹也说不定呢。所以星穹列车才会在黑天鹅的引荐下来到这里，既是为了补充开拓的燃料，也是为了揭开温法罗斯的神秘面纱，在星图上留下一个全新的站点。可以看见它的外观也有些特殊。
What the?
从外层空间观测，
Yo, it looks crazy.
温法罗斯是什么天体？就像一团混沌的漩涡。
我还以为你们随手画了个8上去。
我会原画转告原画同学的。
那这个光芒璀璨，一看就非同凡响的8。 里面长什么样呢？
那毕竟外界是无法观测到翁法罗斯的存在的，所以相对应的翁法罗斯本地人对于天外的世界也完全是没有认知的。那就拿这个世界上的人们来举例吧。对于翁法罗斯人来说，星神这个概念反而是很陌生的。他们有自己信仰的神明啊，这些本地的土著神明，人们把他们称之为泰坦。而我们身后的这位呢，名为克法勒，他就是当地人信奉的泰坦神明之一。
正如风中的歌谣所述，12位泰坦创造了温法罗斯，3位编织命运，3位开辟天地，3位捏塑生灵，3位引渡灾祸。其中，克法勒是庇佑众生的复世之泰坦，神话中创造了最初的人类。
听上去是一个神话色彩非常浓郁的世界。
没错，不过还是跟大家传统意义上的神话文明有一些不同的地方。在温法罗斯，神和神迹都是随处可见的，并非源自人们的想象。 就拿克法勒来说吧，你可以不信仰他，但是他就在那里，我们一抬头就能够看到他的形象。他背负着发光的黎明机器，为陷入黑暗的世界提供最后的光亮。
哦，神造太阳能是吧？不过你刚才提到最后的光亮，这个是什么意思啊？
不管各位的世界有没有昼夜的概念，反正温法罗斯是有的，而且有些特别，区别于现实中的白天和黑夜。当星穹列车到访时，这个世界已经步入了名为幻灭时的黑暗时代，天空之泰坦闭上了眼。 致使地面上绝大多数区域都陷入了永恒长夜。
我看我们这附近还挺亮堂的吧？
所以说是绝大多数嘛。如今我们所处的地方是温法罗斯仅存的圣城奥赫玛，这片黎明也是复世之泰坦最后的锤炼。
哦，原来如此。听这意思，3.0你们不会要搞个灾难片吧？
那一说到灾难片，可能大家脑海里面都会有一些画面。那
Like Economia, true.
可能跟传统意义上的灾难片这3个字带来的画面感不太一样。但作为一个濒临末世的世界呢，温法罗斯面临的危机还是非常的迫切的。那既然有泰坦能带来新生，那肯定也就有泰坦会带来灾祸。在久远的过去，纷争、死亡和诡计3位泰坦降临在了温法罗斯，掀起了神明之间的内战。一段时间过后，又有不可名状的黑潮开始席卷世界。温法罗斯的历史可以说是多灾多难了。至于黑潮这种灾难，没有人知道它的本源是什么。但是凡是受到黑潮影响的生命都会丧失理智，哪怕强大如泰坦神明，也难免受到它的影响。那在过去的1000年里呢，众神之间进行了频繁的交战，温法罗斯也逐渐被黑潮给淹没，那世界也陷入了一个永夜的状态。奥赫玛作为在复世泰坦庇护下的城市，成为了人类最后的避难所。
所以听下来的感觉是，不同的泰坦之间差别很大，有好有坏。
毕竟神权不同，性情自然也各不相同嘛。而克法勒贵为救世主的神明，纵使已经陨落，他的身躯仍在庇佑世人。而英雄们的烛火之旅，也正是自他脚下的这座圣城启程。
既然你提到了烛火之旅，那我就要发问了。
Chose new characters.
一个末日时代，不知道温法罗斯的开拓任务会是什么样的风格？
嘿，如果要用一个词来形容温法罗斯开拓任务，我想就是英雄之旅吧。这段旅程是一则神谕，在摇摇欲坠的末世，有一道预言在远方响起。他说，众神的时代已经落幕，而一群被称为黄金翼的人类英雄将要踏上漫长的征途，从泰坦手中取回12枚火种。
So nice that they put both the main characters on
当列车族抵
the
达
key
时，
artwork.
人类的烛火之旅已经开启了1000年，有6位泰坦的火种被成功回收，收归于创世窝心。然而黑潮也愈演愈烈，天空封闭，大海沉落，末日的阴影已然迫在眉睫。
哇，deadline 在即，项目进度才刚刚到一半，这谁定的排期啊？有没有做风险预警同步啊？谁拖的稿啊？
肯定不是在座的各位了。那当然，既然开拓来到了这里，我们就有理由相信这一切都会好起来的，因为我们已经习惯了作为开拓的势力，成为来自天外的一个变量，去改变世界了。那星穹列车会对温法罗斯的命运产生非常重要的一个影响，而在这一站呢，列车组也会兵分多路，各司其职。那其中，开拓者和单横会作为先锋降落在温法罗斯，率先在这个世界的内部开启一个探索。之后，2人会一步步成为
Travel with Don Hung arc. I hope his voice actor comes back though. Because I saw that in the anniversary video, I think him and Himeko were both silent, which is really unfortunate.
这次3月7不跟着开拓者一起下车吗？
那当然是有些特别的原因啦。众所周知，3月7与记忆命途似乎有着千丝万缕的关联，而记忆在温法罗斯好像又有着特别的意义。所以在抵达这一站时，3月7就先一步有了些意外收获。不过具体内容，前站还先卖个关子吧。
Okay, Marsh lore. That's exciting.
登场角色多，要交代的内容也很多啊。
是的，所以在这里，我们也想怀着激动的心情宣布，温法罗斯的开拓任务将分为上下2部，从3.0持续更新至3.7，总计8个。
Wow, that's I think it's the first, right? Announcing how many updates will be in the version.
连续8个版本
8 though. That'll last
而且听起来每个版本的任务流程
most of the year.
一些世界要更长。
是的，温法罗斯的开拓任务会是星穹铁道起进。
Largest story, okay, so longer than Penacony.
跟轻松快乐的匹诺康尼相比呢，这次我们希望用整整1年的时间，为开拓者们书写一篇英雄史诗，一段宏大的旅程。
They're planning to go the full year. That's really interesting. Well, I guess that makes sense why we saw so many characters.
成为英雄，拯救温法罗斯。
虽然你刚才都把匹诺康尼形容成轻松快乐的了，我姑且再相信你一次吧。那我就期望着开拓者能够从天而降，然后开启一段从零开始的异世界成王之路。
Well, I think we'll probably still have what do they call it? Continuance quests. In like the other planets we visited, but I'm assuming they're mainly just saying like the M40 story will not end until around the end of the year.
那具体到开篇的3.0版本，我们能体验到一段什么样的故事呢？
在3.0版本的开拓任务《落幕烛火英雄记》中，我们会对温法罗斯进行初步的探索，大概了解一下这个末世下的世界。 在过程中，开拓者和单横会和一众本地的黄金。
I mean, that's just my assumption.
并且深度参与到对纷争泰坦尼卡。
I just think it would be really surprising if we don't go back to the other areas at all.
创世的凯歌，感觉救世进展非常可嘉，排期突飞猛进的。
要聊这个话题，不妨结合场景一起说吧，毕竟这个版本的场景都和开拓任务息息相关嘛。
好的，让我们来看看这次更新了哪些地图。
进入法罗斯后，开拓者和单横会先降落在一片名为命运重渊的地区，此处是信仰命运三泰坦的圣地。传说中，岁月、门禁、律法三位泰坦编织了温法罗斯的时间、空间和法则，为世间万物划定了命运。可是如今，曾经的圣地也陷入了永夜，沦为荒无人烟的山野。
难怪这里有很多巨型建筑，很宏伟，但感觉又很空旷。
在这里，开拓者将意外邂逅纷争泰坦的军队，并和他们发生一些小小的摩擦。
Oh, they're gonna show us new enemies?
这也算是惯例了，毕竟所有的开拓都是从挥出第一棒才算正式开始嘛。
没错，毕竟开拓之所以能够成为改变这么多个世界的变量，靠的主要还是手里这根球棒。
但以此为契机，两人会与当地的黄金翼英雄结识，并在后者邀请下来到圣城奥赫玛。这座由复世之泰坦守护、沐浴在永恒黎明下的城邦，也将成为温法罗斯开拓之旅的。
Dang, that looks.
没错，奥赫玛
so good.
下了这座城市是一座靠山而建的圣城。那在温法罗斯的神话当中呢，每位泰坦都是有各自的一个圣所。那在奥赫玛，这些圣所会变成融合信仰崇拜和城市功能的不同的建筑区。那在这些场景区域中，最具特色的就是大浴场云石天宫。洗浴文化在温法罗斯有着相当重要的一个地位。这里不只是一片休憩区，而且还是整座城市的中心，公共社交的一个场所。
嚯，看来即使是在末世，温法罗斯人也特别注重生活质量啊。
对，毕竟哪怕是在末世底下，人还是要继续生活，日子还是要接着过的。那云石天宫的浴场也分为很多的种类，既有高温浴池，也有低温浴池，可以满足不同人的一个喜好。
Bathing with Don Hong Arc?
黄金翼英雄们专属的一个区域。除了消遣以外，有很多重大的决策也会在这里发生。
听起来还是个蛮舒适的基地的，能不能给开拓者也整个？
这点大可放心，就像2.0的白日梦酒店客房一样。那在3.0版本的开拓任务里面，开拓者也会收获自己的。
We gain a private bath chamber.
很多当地的伙伴。
Wait, what?
他们会分散在圣城奥赫玛的各处，做一些自己日常的事情。那随着故事的推进，也会不断有朋友加入或者离开。
等，
It's like an extra. It's like how people visit the parlor car, but instead they visit our bathhouse room.
时时刻刻都能待在奥赫玛的嘛，不妨这么理解吧。这就是温法罗斯的星穹列车。
That will be interesting.
也只是这座圣城的部分区域，后续版本奥赫玛的面纱也会进一步揭开。
原来这么大一片场景，还只是奥赫玛的一部分地图啊。
是的。然后，除了复世之泰坦，还有一位神明会在3.0版本为烛火之旅提供助力。还记得先前提到的命运重渊吗？在开拓任务中段，开拓者一行人会重返此地，穿越层层迷雾，在神殿的最深处觐见岁月之泰坦欧洛尼斯。
也就是在这里，命运重渊这个地方，开拓者将会踏上记忆的命途，并且获得从过往中汲取力量的能力。
从过往中汲取力量是什么意思啊？
在温法罗斯存在着名为欧洛尼斯
exploration mechanic.
信仰岁月之泰坦的祭司。
I know people had very mixed opinions about the 3D puzzles, walking on walls in Pentagoni.
开拓者最后也会获得这种不可思议的力量。
But this one's about time. Okay, that seems pretty straightforward.
欧洛尼斯导言，开拓者能够将一些物体还原至过去的状态，由此解开谜题或创造出新的道路。而在部分特殊场合，甚至能让过往的风景在现实显现。令二者交叠，碰撞出奇妙的化学反应。
Okay, that seems nice and simple. Hopefully, there's no crazy puzzles.
现在两种状态。
没错。而在3.0版本还会有一张特殊的地图，开拓者能够完整见证它过去和现在的全貌，那就是纷争之泰坦的所在地旋风城。
纷争，我记得你们前面好像说过啊，就是这位泰坦是3.0故事的主要敌人。
纷争之泰坦尼卡多利曾向众神宣战，令世间陷入永无止境的纷争。可是战神最终也为战争付出了代价，他的神体被黑潮侵蚀，陷入了疯狂，领地也迷失在浓雾中。旋风城因他高悬于空中的天使之风而得名。烛火之旅的
retaining any of these titans' names.
主线中，开拓者
I'll just have to wait until we get into the actual story.
在荒废的要塞中穿行，与发狂的眷属交战，最终来到堕落的泰坦面前，从他手中夺回纷争的神权。
在我们的旅行期间啊，一行人还会遇到名为扎格列斯之手的装置。这个装置呢，它是轨迹泰坦扎格列斯留在世间的机关。在探索过程中，开拓者可以用它来托举、抓取或者砸开通路，甚至还可以用它来秒杀怪物。那在3.0开拓任务的后半程，因为某些原因，众人会借助欧洛尼斯的力量，重回久远的过去，深入黄金年代的旋风城。
My God，
现在完全不一样，这种昼和夜、辉煌与破败的对比，好强烈啊！
没错，这正是我们希望。
Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot. I've been working hard to try and make my videos better recently. So I'm glad you like them.
非常沉痛的影响，一座又一座城邦的陷落，导致民众失去了自己的家园，被迫集结在奥赫玛。这也是翁法罗斯人对神域深信不疑的原因。他们期盼着英雄们能够战胜12泰坦，归还全部的火种，实现预言中再创世的伟业。
3.0的最后一个场景就是完成这一仪式的场所，世界的起点，创世。
Okay, that definitely looks like a weekly boss room type thing.
大圣所也是神域中创世奇迹降临的地点。每当战胜一位泰坦，取回他的火种后，黄金翼就会在此将其归还。
Those constellations in the back definitely mean something. What? I don't know, but probably something.
注意看。星空中每一座被点亮的星宿，都代表了前人的一段旅程。
Okay, well,
这段
there
漫
it
长
is.
的烛火之旅，在千年时光中已走过了艰难的半程，而剩下的一半就要靠各位开拓者了。
创世窝心同时也承担了我们世界商店的一个功能。那通过对翁法罗斯的探索和收集，开拓者们可以在这里兑换相应的奖励。另外，我们还可以在
I see it in the Eidolons.
低语去了解
Remembrance Trailblazer Eidolons.
真是从各种意义上都令人充满干劲儿的地方。翁法罗斯整体给人的感觉都是非常宏伟的，有很多的超自然景观和巨型建筑，跟之前去过的几个世界都不太一样，会有点。
Wait, doesn't Ashikai make Star Rail videos? I just saw one the other day talking about like the link between Star Rail and Honkai Impact 3rd. So I'm pretty sure she knows all that stuff. Maybe she doesn't make videos as often for it though.
探索世界风格的时候，我们先是锚定了神话和英雄这一层的关键词。那经过比较长时间的探索、讨论和对比呢，团队会觉得以古希腊和罗马质感的
Star Rail world does feel a lot more grand in scale, so I can imagine it would be harder to make videos on.
是的，为了表现这一主题，项目组也在各个方面都做出了努力。那不管是随处可见的巨构建筑，还是鼎盛与衰败的时代对比，翁法罗斯的场景可以说是星穹铁道目前做过最宏伟，同时制作难度也最高的地图。不过，即便前面说了这么多内容，我知道大家心里还是会有很多疑惑，这也再正常不过了。
Yes, I have
有关这个世界的
many
更多
questions.
秘密，期待大家还是能在进入3.0版本以后去深入的挖掘。
I'll probably still be confused when the quest hits anyway, though.
有漫长厚重的历史，留下过悠久的泰坦神话和无数的英雄事迹。那另一方面呢，现实中的危机又在不断的迫近，烛火者们肩负的职责也在不断的加重。我们希望能够做一方最隆重的舞台，见证开拓者登上台前，一步步成为这个世界的英雄。
那么在2.7前瞻《翁法罗斯英雄记》发布后，这个世界也获得了热切的关注。透过一些彩蛋，许多开拓者感受到了翁法罗斯背后承载的崩坏 IP 的重量。但也有一些开拓者会疑虑，作为系列的新朋友，在不了解其他作品的情况下，是否会有体验的缺失，或是必须要把这段空缺补全。但就像星穹铁道一直所强调的，不要有任何压力。
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense for them to make it understandable, even if you haven't like gotten to any of that lore stuff.
登场的所有人，包括百恶和西莲两位似曾相识的朋友在内，都是崩坏 IP 的全新角色。他们有着属于自己的命运，将要去完成一段独一无二的旅程。我们会将这段故事以没有门槛、没有负担的形式呈现给所有的开拓者。
Wait, I just realized they haven't given us any codes yet.
在一些瞬间，你会捕捉到似曾相识的感动。
I'm gonna need as many J's as possible for this upcoming update.
一种跨越时间的美好感情。如果你愿意将这种喜悦与他人分享、交流，我们会感到十分荣幸。而对于崩坏系列的新朋友，我们也期待大家能和这些角色建立起独属于自己的回忆，开创一段全新的浪漫故事。此时此刻，我们正走在进行时的路上，将要开启的是一段为期1年的烛火之旅。希望这段英雄的征途能在所有开拓者心中留下不灭的印记。而对于一个记忆的世界，这或许就是弥足珍贵的至宝。
好，感谢2位老师的分享，我们也期待着这段记忆的发生。那接下来让我们稍事休息，稍后会为大家带来3.0版本的角色。
Yes, show me the characters. I want to see the characters. I guess I will type this out. This should be it. Let me see if I could get the full link. Let me just check and make sure this works first.
欢迎回来，这里是崩坏新铁道3.0版本前瞻特别节目。
大家好，我是阿成。
阿成老师也是一位大家老熟人了。那我们继续刚才的话题，面对翁法罗斯这样一个未知的世界，会有不同的视角从内外各自推动故事。联系到刚才开场的 OP， 我大胆猜测一下，外线故事的推进会不会与某位天才有关？
哎，猜得不错。在2.7开头任务的结尾，黑塔女士已经率先登场了。我想，没准她就是你口中的某位天才。
看来这位列车组的盟友终于要出手了。
而且他是天才嘛，对于黑塔来说，未知的事物总是充满吸引力的。
I feel like we probably won't get like super hard connections between Honkai and Genshin for a while. Oh, the Keyblade is so cool. Why is there no sound? It feels weird seeing the animations, no sound, no voice lines. The animations do look good though.
黑塔女士，天才俱乐部第83席，致时的令史。传闻她一直隐居在银河边境，极少在人间现身。
人类，女性，年轻貌美可爱，原来她之前的自我介绍都是真的呀。不过我再确认一下啊，黑塔的真身就叫大黑塔了。
嘿，此事在天外卫星通信亦有记载。博士学会的撰稿人曾想为黑塔女士取一个更具特色的头衔，但被本人拒绝了。对于这位不拘一格的天才，既然大小黑塔都是黑塔，那不妨就以此相称，不仅出人意料，还信达雅。
是的，天才的措辞总是非常的精准，而黑塔呢，其实是新中铁道最早登场的人物之一。大家对于黑塔的人偶
I think I saw
所以在设计大黑塔的时候，我们希望他本人的
some of the other languages, her name is like Madam Herda instead of the Herda.
也追求信达
Pretty
雅
interesting localization
我觉
choice.
得它身上好像有很多那种魔法史要素，跟我们刻板印象中那种天才科学家好像不太一样。
对于黑塔来说，天才这个称号本身呢，只是他的起点。黑塔致力于探索知识边界之外的事物，他想要去更高维度、更高的世界探索与俯瞰知识。而这位天才认为呢，所谓的魔法就是还未被世人理解、掌握的科学知识而已。
很有道理啊，确实，魔法和科学不应该被这么简单的定义。
有没有可能没这么复杂？只是这种穿衣风格更符合他的审美喜好？
是这样吗？
你这么一说，我想起来了，开拓者熟悉的黑塔空间站呢，起初也只是黑塔女士的收藏室之一，所以没准人家的衣橱呢，也就跟空间站一个大小。
哦，原来如此。
想知道这位天才平时的生活到底是怎么样的，就请
What is this
期待一
frame
下他
from?
动画短片
Oh.
和前行记游吧。
Animated short.
接下来
Nice
就请阿成老师为我们介绍一下黑塔女士的技能。
好的，大黑塔是一名致使命途的兵属性角色，在战斗中
Okay, I
表
said
现也是非常的
erudition,
致时。
which we already knew.
对于大黑塔来说呢，战场就是实验场，战斗是探寻答案的过程，一切敌方目标都是研究对象。大黑塔能给敌方施加特殊标记，这个标记是他对敌人的解读可以叠加，而它最大的特点就是能根据解读的层数
Okay,
对敌人
puts
造
on
成伤害。
解读
stacks.
敌人用于研究，你说的致时是这个意思啊？那它的叠层有上限吗
42层。
42?
哦，也合理，毕竟宇宙的终极答案，对吧？
没错，但是我还没
So
说
does she have a
完
mechanic, maybe like Black Swan, where you could stop it from resetting?
都能对敌人进行解读，
Or does it
意味
just
着如果
stack up and not
成功
reset?
解读的速度会大大加快。 造成更多伤害。而如果队伍中还有其他致使命途的角色，造成的伤害还会额外提高。
不愧是大黑塔，以一人之力带领全队走在科学的道路上。
是的，使用强化战技时，大黑塔会根据主目标的层数对敌方全体造成伤害。
Okay, does damage based on the primary target stacks, and it does reset.
可以继续叠层。
所以在多数时
So
候，
how did she get to 42 stacks?
优先选择层数最高的敌人作为主目标。
没错。
那如果我层数叠错了，比如说最高的层数没有叠到 BOSS 身上，我应该怎么办呢？
不用担心。
Yeah, they're going pretty in
大黑塔
depth.
的终结技会将敌人身上的解毒层数智能排序。
Ult automatically
也就是说不会出现
sorts.
大炮打蚊子的情况是吧？这也太智能了吧？
不过是排序算法而已嘛，对大黑塔来说并不难。而且它的技能画面表现中会出现一些像画框、钥匙、锁孔。
Okay, we'll come back to this.
这其实代表了大黑塔在不同的知识领域穿梭，想要开启智慧之门的感觉。
开启一扇门就干掉一个怪？
不，在实际战斗中，虽然敌人会一个个的被大黑塔攻击，但基本上都是一起被大黑塔干掉的。
好的，果然世上没人能负他。
大黑塔的秘技也很有自己的风格。使用秘技后，它可以在地图上标记多个普通战利品的位置。
全图宝箱雷达吗？
Was it for the whole
使
map?
用秘技后进入战斗时也会有额外的效果。
Dude, the technique power creep is
规
crazy.
则是由大黑塔制定的。
What?
所以在模拟宇宙、差分宇宙使用秘技进入战斗后，
She just puts the interactive map onto your game.
敌方全体造成固定比例的伤害。
Enemies take percentage max HP at start of battle.
有救了。我发现这个秘技的镜子中反射出了大黑塔的身影。
没错。这个镜面呢，我们其实做了一些
Because the thing is, I tried to use like the map. Wait, is it actual? It's an actual mirror in game. What?
之前跟技术美术同学敲定的是，游戏里是
That's so unnecessary. Like they did not need to. They did not need to add that.
因为他们也想要在任务中把所有的镜面都做。
That's cool that they did.
那为什么不呢？
因为如果你把游戏中所有的镜面都做成真实反射镜面呢？ 可能就会让玩家的手机都变成黑色的镜面。
性能撑不住是吧？行吧。
Yeah, I mean, having every surface be reflective would be way too much since you basically have to render it twice. But I'm surprised they even did that for her animation. Like, they definitely could have just put a screen on there and no one would even probably care. But yeah, as I was saying, I used the interactive map to try and like get all the chests in Penacony so I could get like Trailblazer E6. But since I didn't like mark the chests from when I first started like exploring, I didn't know which ones I had and which ones I didn't. So I just went to every single spot, which you would think would be enough to get me every chest, but like I thought I went to every spot and I still had some missing. So I think Herta will actually be very nice. Okay, now let's see how Remembrance works. Because I'm kind of thinking that if she just plays like another character, like any other path, but has a summon, then the existence of Remembrance is not that justified. But we'll see.
感觉他身上有股神性的美。
是这样的，我记得在设计阿格莱亚之初呢，艾皮老师给我们的关键词中有一个形容词是高岭之花，但是这个形容词呢，当时让我们非常的困惑，什么叫高岭之花？烧鸡老师，你再来解释解释，什么叫高岭之花？
其实想表达的是他和其他人的距离了。阿格莱亚是最早踏上烛火之旅的黄金翼之一，漫长的时光在他身上流逝，带走了为人的青涩和天真。烛火之旅也曾经一度中断过，是阿格莱亚召集起新生代的黄金翼，再度开启了旧时的旅程。如今，他背负着浪漫的神权，他的所思所想，每一步抉择都牵引着温法罗斯的未来。也正因如此，他好像离常人越来越远，反倒变得和旧日的神明相似起来。
哇，这句话听起来总感觉像是什么 flag。
也是顺着这个思路出发吧。我们在设计阿格莱亚的时候呢，也参考了一些希腊神话中对于女神的描绘，使用了诸如石榴花、贝壳，还有桂冠、橄榄叶这样的元素，想要突出她高贵、优雅、神圣的一面。
这个例会上围绕着她身边的是人台和丝线吗？
是的，改衣师是阿格莱亚的另一重身份。那么做衣服嘛，肯定离不开针线、剪刀，也得有人台辅助她进行工作，这是她的衣匠。
另外，这些心思也是浪漫神权的表现。 它能捕捉到最细微的动静，将事件讯息送往阿格莱亚的指尖。而在奥赫玛城中，还有着名为万维网的信息系统，也是凭借阿格莱亚和另一位黄金翼的神力搭建起来的。
观测加网线，那这的确就是奥赫玛的神，那毕竟没网肯定完蛋了呀。那阿格莱亚其实也是我们第一个
Yes, tell me about remembrance.
记忆命图角色，还请阿川老师为我们展开讲讲。
没问题。之前2.7前瞻中也有提到，记忆命图的角色拥有称之为异灵的召唤物，阿格莱亚会召唤异灵一将与他共同战斗。角色和异灵之间也会具有独特的交互表现，这点在阿格莱亚身上也会有体现。
怎么个独特法？
对阿克莱亚来说呢，服装设计是一种生活方式，衣将更是他对于理想化自我的投射，所以阿格莱亚与衣将一起战斗时，会呈现出一种双人共舞的感觉，
和理想中的自己一起跳舞，听上去还挺浪漫的。
So like
敌人可能不会这么认为。
Rosalina and Luma from Smash Bros.
阿克莱亚会给敌人添加标记
She marks enemies
会攻击阿克莱亚标记过的敌人。
and the summon it attacks the marked
从画
enemies.
面上看，衣将是可以单独行动的，那敌
What's
人可以
that
单
bar?
独攻击衣将吗？
是可以的，不过
It can be
无论是衣
attacked.
将攻击敌人还是受到攻击，都会帮助阿格莱亚回能。
哦，原来如此。
But it contributes to the energy, so
衣将的作用远不止这些。
that makes
当衣将
sense.
对敌人进行攻击后，衣将自己的速度会提高，而当阿格莱亚释放终结技后，阿格莱亚的速度也会提高，并且它
So they
会和
increase
衣
each
将
other's
合力
speed.
攻击敌人，也就是说，
They could do a combined attack.
阿格莱亚和衣将都会对敌人进行攻击。这个合击能对敌人造成更高伤害，还能进一步提升衣将的速度。
听起来他们俩在彼此的帮助下越转越快，越转越快。
没错，而这就是这支双人舞的精妙之处，就好像是衣将拉着阿格莱亚转圈，阿格莱亚再拉着衣将转圈，两个人越转越快，最后达成连续多动，进行多次合击。
哦，感觉他和衣将实践的方式都非常的优雅，但优雅中呢又带着一些凌厉。
是的，毕竟阿格莱亚接触过严格的
Interesting.
风琴剑术训练，他的人台也继承了这种轻巧华丽的剑术风格。这是双人
She pulls the sword out of out of the mannequin's chest. It's
而他们俩的速度越快，
that's just Raiden.
伤害也越高。不过舞蹈也有结束之时，被召唤出来的衣将也会消失，迎来谢幕。
明白了，看来速度对于阿格莱亚和衣将至关重要。那除了这种互相加速的方式之外，还有没有其他的办法能让阿格莱亚和衣将转得更快一点呢？
当然，队友可以直接选择衣将施加增益，比如使其行动提前或是提高速度。
原来如此，感觉作为召唤物，衣将对于战斗的参与方式会更加多样。
It's so weird to see that you could just target it
阿
like
格莱亚
that.
只是一个开始，在踏上温法罗斯的旅途后，开拓者还会和形形色色的英雄邂逅，而这些黄金翼的故事
I don't know. I feel like they didn't really explain how the summoning process works
如我所
because it seems like
你这个书是
both of her abilities were attacks. So
与每
I'll
种
have to go back and look at that again.
如我所述，会在3.0主线的某个阶段解锁。从外观来看，它是一册来由不明、内容空白的书本。但随着烛火之旅的进行，开拓者偶尔会闪过名为“无名的追忆”的灵感，借由这一缕灵光，英雄的故事会被一一记录。
Okay, it looks like this is the equivalent of the Penacony scrapbook.
这我也不知道，但有一点我是知道的，那就是如我所述，会和温法罗斯的开拓任务一同更新。随着故事推进，开拓者会与越来越多的黄金翼相遇，留下独一无二的记忆，令一篇又一篇史诗成章。
又是记忆，真是一个绕不过去的词儿啊。那么在3.0版本中，应该还有另外一位记忆命图的重磅角色。
Okay, Remembrance Trailblazer. Okay, so this is gonna be interesting because talking about the Trailblazer, we're gonna see what parts are like tied to the summon mechanic and which parts are unique to the character.
这次和匹诺康尼不同，我们的主角在故事最初就踏上。
Yeah, it does seem like having 4 Remembrance characters will have 8 on the field.
唯一好透露的就是
Or at least that's the impression I'm under.
因为他来历成谜，而且只会发出咪咪的叫声，所以暂且用咪咪来。
Oh, they can't talk?
感觉他身上也有不少的秘密啊。
这你就想多了，这么单纯可爱的小动物能有什么秘密吗？人家只是想和开拓者一起旅行罢了。毕竟烛火之旅是很沉重的啦，总得有些可爱的气氛来点缀才行。
除了提供可爱的气氛呢，在战斗中咪咪也会发挥重要的作用。开拓者可以在战斗中召唤咪咪，每当我方恢复能量时，也会为咪咪进行充能。此外，开拓者也可以通过释放战技和终结技的方式为咪咪充能。
Okay, so it has its own resource bar.
我方单体进行声援，使其立即行动，并能够额外造成真实伤害。
Okay, more supportive role than true damage, like it ignores
可以
defense.
类比一下超级破伤害吧。真实伤害呢，也是一种特殊的伤害类型。
Oh,
你可以理解为，真实伤害是一种额外的附加伤害， 它无视敌我任何一方的
Ignores
减益或者增益效果，
buffs or
会直接对敌人造
debuffs?
成伤害。
听起来感觉
Okay,
虽
so
然一向和迷密之间
originally
有
I
意灵的共
I
识
think it originates from League of Legends, but in League of Legends it just means it ignores like defense
是
stats,
的
but
虽然都是异灵，
looks like this is a little
它们各有
different.
其独特性。在制作之初，项目组内就达成过共识，记忆命图应该带给开拓者一些全新的体验。这种新一定是为了乐趣而存在的。比如说，你的配对可以搭配得更好玩，有更多的策略空间可以探索。那么从这个思路出发，我们认为在战场上增加新的可操纵单位是一种非常直观的乐趣，也能带来更多的变化。由此而来，战斗表现、美术表现上也有了新的尝试方向。
我觉得迷迷还是很可爱的，一巴掌拍上去也很有气场。
无论你喜欢休闲还是挑战高难内容，我们都希望记忆命图的加入能让你获得更多的乐趣。
那既然说到了新的体验，接下来我们是不是应该讲讲我们要在新的世界里面对的敌人了？
没问题，在3.0版本中呢，当然也有全新的敌人与我们交锋。在刚才的节目中，少基老师
Now, are the new enemies going to directly interact with summons or not?
独立进行征讨。那么在征讨之初，开拓者会遭遇纷争泰坦的眷属、天谴先锋、天谴斗士等敌人，会伺机而动与开拓者作战。
泰坦的眷属会有什么样的能力呢？
这些眷属各有其
Bro, they all look like Sunday.
不过他们多拥有特定层数的战甲，在受到攻击时，战甲的层数会减少，而失去所有战甲后，眷属们会立即失去一定的生命值，并且为攻击者恢复能量。
那看来我们要对这些眷属们施以高频的打击。
没错。
打完眷属，那我们
Okay, they're
直接面对
pushing the erudition characters.
没错
I see.
3.0版本的开拓任务中，最主要的敌人应该就是纷争者泰坦尼卡多利了。
确实，在与他的交战中呢，开拓者需要积攒荣耀层数击退尼卡多利的泰坦神躯。我方角色在持有荣耀时，使用战技或终结技都可以增加荣耀，获得增益。
荣耀越多越顺利，的确是为勇敢者准备的战斗。
是的，尼卡多利呢又被称为天谴之矛，作为纷争泰坦，他
Okay, is this a follow-up
战斗有一种狂热的信仰。
follow-up
在战斗中他会投掷锋利
type
的矛
of
对敌
enemy?
人发动攻击
You just need to hit them
他
a
们
ton
会
of
出现
times?
对敌人发动神遣。
等一下
Oh, that animation is
好
crazy.
像有点眼熟，之前好像在哪个地图上面
直接回答你了，就是旋风城上空悬着的那柄。
所以纷争泰坦就是连自己的城邦都要天谴一下，是吧？
尼卡多利向来是科法勒的死敌嘛，但是在被黑潮侵蚀陷入崩溃之前，他依然是一名高傲且光荣的泰坦。在3.0开拓任务的高潮，经历艰难险阻之后，黄坚毅最终会与取回神性的纷争之泰坦交战。
在战斗中呢，恢复完全之身的战神会对我方角色进行征服，受征服的角色会被长矛钉住，被钉住的角色血量上限会降低。开拓者需要优先攻击这些长矛，为角色恢复血量上限。
Oh, this is how they're gonna push preservation characters. They just steal your HP and there's nothing you can do about it.
把我方角色的灵魂钉住，然后再用巨剑进行毁灭，他下手还真挺。
Well, I guess if you do enough damage fast enough, then it doesn't really matter. So maybe not.
贼灵巴特鲁斯是一个很有意思的敌人。
怎么还有小偷？这格调和前面几位都不太一样啊！
还记不记得3位灾厄泰坦中有一位是诡计的泰坦，名为扎格列斯，这个小偷就是他的信奉者。
Oh, true. I didn't even think about that. I mean,
他贪财而且胆大。
it makes sense since Herta is gonna be the next character. Actually, I don't know if she's phase 1 or 2, but makes sense that they're finally gonna put ice enemies in the game. Ice weak enemies.
给开拓者更多的奖励。
确实，开拓者反手就开始掏小偷的兜，拿来吧你！
这就叫敌人不仁。
Probably not enough to help Jingli though.
那接下来就让我们看看3.0版本的卡池讯息。在3.0版本上半的跃迁活动中，开拓者可以在卡池中获取限定5星角色大黑塔。
So it's Herta phase 1. Okay.
不可追问处获取的概率将提升。
Yeah, preservation is in a pretty bad state right now, and I don't really know how they're gonna fix it, but
零杀、飞霄、翡翠将会同时。
facial already.
限定5星光锥，唯有香如故，我将寻征追猎，偏偏希望无价也将复刻。
Jade makes sense because she pairs with Herta.
开拓者可以在卡池中获取限定5星角色阿格莱亚，限定5星光锥将光阴之神黄金的获取概率也将会得到提升。与此同时，在3.0版本的下半也将会开启特殊的跃迁活动，限定5星角色波提欧、知更鸟、银狼将会同时复刻。
Wait,
限定5星光锥
4 banners?
第2次生命，夜色流光溢彩，鱼之下也将会复刻。
在3.0版本的
Okay, Silver Wolf's a wheeled choice. I feel like
4星光锥以及2张3星光锥。无名勋礼中
What the heck? Oh, these are crazy.
4星光锥。除此之外，袭真琳琅中也将新增1张记忆命图的4星光锥。
在3.0版本
One 4-star cone for remembrance. I kind of expected that.
成功可以获得记忆命途角色的行迹材料，弦歌之境、心之催动。
I feel like not that many people are interested in getting Silver Wolf right now.
系套装、凯歌铸节的英豪和哀歌复国的诗人。
我猜在3.0版本
Was there also 4 for the first half? 8 banners?
花道
Jesus.
繁声和位面分裂活动也将在3.0版本复刻。
好，感谢两位老师，让我们休息一下，稍后节目继续。
No way they're like, yo, no one's gonna want these characters in a few patches. You gotta put them out now.
大地兽别怕，我来给你修脚喽。
Okay, another.
来，抬脚。啊，这是个啥印痕？这伤口肯定是在黑潮爆发的那边送货的时候。
What is happening right now? What is this TikTok on my screen? Oh wait, it's actual TikToks. Wait, are these? I can't tell if they're made by people or by them.
有这样顽皮的孩子，时常闯祸，打破家里的工艺品。美意关系，欧若尼斯奇迹出品的迷你款奇迹手电筒，会为你解决一切烦恼。轻轻一按，欧若尼斯之力就会带你回溯时空，任何东西破碎了都能完好如初。马上点击下方购物车购买吧。
It's supposed to be like in lore, like this is what Forest people post online. This has been going for a while. And we're only on the second code, so kind of curious how much more there's gonna be. Oh my god, they have the wall of text with like the emojis.
As the next destination for the Astral Express approaches, let's take a look at some of Amphorius's finest citizens.
Well, I think these are funny. I just didn't expect them to be here.
Presenting the legends of Amphorius. Premiering soon on YouTube and Twitch.
Oh, what's happening on the 14th? Is that like now I'm confused. Like, is that real or are they just saying? Oh my god, oh, they were hard.
家人们，虽然有可能被封，但我一定要跟你们说句真话。所谓烛火之旅，不过是一场骗局。黄金翼和阿格莱亚全部都是骗子。能拯救翁
The anti-Aglaia propaganda.
有我们元老院。
Bro, they cut it off.
感觉不太行，我感觉有点晕。
People were speculating that the 3.1 character
不要看手机
is like
看这下晕瘦了吧？
a Fate character
没系安全带呢。
in a way.
洛克马的道路监控是全程联网的，运行不规范，运营2行泪。
我们可以不晃了吗？感觉这段表演好假。
行，大家一起别晃了。
OK，
好的，那要么两位新面孔的老师先向大家介绍一下自己。
大家好，我是游戏迷小小婉。
大家好，我是关卡设计哈特。
欢迎几位。刚才我们聊过了翁法罗斯的神明黄金翼，也了解了这个。
Yeah, Gilgamesh is the one that people say like, yeah, it looks just like
好呀，其实我自己的感觉是，翁法罗斯这个世界虽然很大，但是也不是那么的遥远，会有很多接地气的东西。
如果说
They do look similar.
是英雄之旅的话，那么在版本活动、
Oh,
关卡
my
玩法
camera.
以及场景生态中，我们希望能展现这个世界更加生活化的一面。
哎，对，我们先来说说版本活动，理论上该到这一趴了吧
OK， 那我开始吟唱了。在3.0版本的活动《地宫迷踪》中，开拓者和翁法罗斯的冒险家将一同进入神秘地宫进行冒险。
勇者与地下城里面有什么呀？
按照一般定律，地宫深处肯定是有宝箱啦。那么同样的，想要拿到宝箱，就要通过重重考验。地宫迷踪活动会分为4层，每个关卡都会有不同的玩法。 开拓者需要在冒险家的帮助下解开谜题。
Is it all puzzles or is
除了大家
there
在主线剧情中会体
gameplay?
验到的欧洛尼斯奇迹、扎格列斯之手的玩法之外，在这里开拓者还会看到预言酸杯，按照提示
Wait.
图像就可以获得奖励。
Just wait, what?
玩法中，开拓者需要根据提示帮助金山羊在
Oh, there was one Genshin event that was like that.
这些东西听起来都和泰坦的能力有关，是吗？
是这样的。通过地宫迷踪这个
I forget which one it was.
我们希望能让
One with like shadow
更
puppets.
多与泰坦神力相关的翁法罗斯。
I think it was in Sumeru.
此外，我们希望能帮助开拓者更快地对这个世界进行探索。为此，在 3.0 版本中，我们也为开拓者准备了一本见闻手册。相传，翁法罗斯曾有位名叫伊利亚的黄金翼。
But they're kind of going over like the small, like mini events now. I'm kind of surprised they haven't mentioned anything like really big in terms of like new gameplay.
没错，那么在 3.0 版本的活动中，开拓者不仅要作为探险家，还要肩负起作为勇者的使命。奥克玛市集中出现了一名走丢的孩子，热心的开拓者将按照孩子提供的线索，寻找散落在各地的圣卷，揭开城邦的往事，同时也
I mean, I guess we did just get a Divergent Universe expansion, so maybe it makes sense that nothing too crazy is coming.
前面的挑战中，每个卷轴都由增益积累、终极挑战2个阶段构成。增益积累阶段需要利用关键敌人的异变机制提升增益，然后在终极挑战阶段
Okay, kind of seems like
而在击败前面的
end fight of Divergent Universe.
泰坦进行最终决斗。进入战斗前，开拓者可以选择部分之前积累的关卡增益，给自己上 buff。
哦，了解。那这几个活动都确实还
Okay, I mean like nothing crazy from that event. All kind of stuff that we've seen before, but I mean, it's always pretty fun, decently fun, and usually it doesn't take that long to finish. And also we get to use child characters, which is always nice.
普通人眼中的泰坦、黄金翼还有翁法罗斯是什么样的样子？在后续版本的版本活动中，我们也会为大家展示翁法罗斯世界生态的更多侧面。
其实翁法罗斯新增的一些玩法，比如预言算杯呀、扎格列斯之手呀，我觉得也是泰坦神力在日常生活中对普通人影响的一种抽象化的表达。
记得当初我们定扎格列斯之手这个玩法的时候，脑海里想象的就是有一种巨大无比的东西，就像泰坦的神力在帮你做事的感觉。
哦，那就是泰坦有形的大手。这些神迹是翁法罗斯人会信仰泰坦的原因吗？
那对于翁法罗斯人来说，大部分普通人对于泰坦的信仰还是比较功利的。说白了，很多人信仰泰坦神明的原因，是因为相信这些神明能够庇佑他们。那一个人的城邦和家庭的出身，他的人生遭遇都会影响他们对泰坦的信仰，甚至也会有不信者的出现。身份不同的人呢，对于某些特定泰坦的态度也会有很大的区别。比如有的人是把泰坦视为精神支柱，也有些人是在借用泰坦。
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like most of the combat-based events are not that crazy, just because they've already done like most of the ideas that they could think of, and then like a lot of it ends up being just like endgame content, like Apocalypse Shadow, Memory of Chaos, Pure Fiction. So I guess because that stuff is updating very regularly, they probably don't see as much of a need to put in like super regular combat events.
自己的生活还是要经营好，对吧？
所以项目组的老师们在构建场景还有生态的过程中，要考虑的。
I mean, I still think they'll continue to do it, just not as frequently, because I mean we've seen like the Lufu fighting event with Luca ended up becoming like what the recent Pure Fictions have been, so I think they'll eventually think of more stuff, but probably not super incentivized to right now.
奥克玛是目前最大规模跨度的地图，把富士泰坦作为核心地标，在各个地区都能看到远处有其他地区的外观。相比之前的世界的地图，会有更强的连接感。同时，为了平衡
Yeah, but I swear if like the next Memory of Chaos modifier is like plus 50% damage from summons, that's gonna be very unfortunate.
为了纪念神迹而建立的广场，可以见到有许多在此祷告的信徒或者闲逛的市民。而云石市集更是奥克玛居民日常生活的主要区域， 这里有各式各样的店铺。
I mean, it wouldn't really make sense either because Trailblazer's not a damage unit. So pretty much just be Aglaia
我记得翁法罗斯
and
还有
Jin
很
Yuan.
多有趣的小动物，哈特老师要不也讲讲？
好呀。
And I guess the link shot too if you run that crazy setup.
还有大生物，比如我们现在骑着的这个大地兽，就是翁法罗斯人的好帮手，既能载人也能运货。大地兽是蜘蛛三泰坦中大地泰坦吉奥里亚的造物。奥赫玛城中设有专门的大地兽工坊，用来养育它们。此外，还有一些奇美拉会分布在城镇的各处，就是这些小家伙们啦。它们的颜色啊、性格上的差异也非常大，有的脾气暴躁，有的调皮捣蛋，还有的会使用自己的能力帮助当地的居民做一些简单的工作，是一群超级可爱的小家伙。
我还有一个想要补充的点，我觉得翁法罗斯这个世界的场景体验跟开拓者的剧情体验会有很强的相关性，是一个随着时间循序渐进的过程。虽然现在还不能说是一个什么样的相关法，但还是请大家期待一下。
好，那从历史的角度来说，翁法罗斯是一个多城邦的集合。在遭遇了灭顶之灾之前，每一个城邦可能信仰的都是不同的神明。
I mean, we saw that. I'm pretty sure, yeah, 3.1 characters are not remembrance. So maybe the summon meta isn't gonna be here that soon, as much as I thought.
独特的文化与生态。在3.0版本，我们也将会更新我们该去往何方。我曾在阿卡迪亚，夜梦难缄默，多个冒险任务，为大家展示这个世界里普通人的悲欢离合。
好的，非常感谢各位老师的分享。那接下来我们，
怎么了？
好像撞到什么了吧
？What？
大地兽好像踩到大伟哥了。
都不知道他是什么时候来的。还有我都说过了，就算是大地兽，也要归在。
These guys are so silly.
怎么就没有人听呢？这不，现在大地兽交通肇事了呀。
那所以现在我们该怎么办？怎么办？
怎么办？
哎，别慌，我有一计。我们用欧洛尼斯的导言，把大伟哥回溯一下吧。
啊，这能行吗
？Hello, dear Trailblazers, it's your old friend 大伟。首先，在3.0版本寻星之旅活动啊，如约
，Okay,
签到即可领取10连抽。
Always nice.
除此之外啊，为了庆祝开拓之旅抵达全新的世界温法罗斯啊
10 more? Oh my god, it's actually 10 more. I was just saying that as a joke.
同时，为了让各位在温法罗斯的冒险之旅啊更加顺利
And then I think that thing on the right is for relics, I believe. Yeah.
变量投资。当然了，3.0 版
Relic reset.
现正开启。温法罗斯正在等待着。
I'm pretty sure I trashed my old relics that had like good subsets but terrible rolls, so I'm like happy that they're adding that to the game, but also kind of annoyed that it took them this long.
光碟礼盒将于2025年1月份线上线下同步发售。礼盒包含 PS5 实体光碟及光碟盒、烫金镭射角色闪卡9张。PS5 限定镭射 Q 版开拓者钥匙链2个，以及
Dang, that stuff looks really cool, but I don't have a PlayStation. Why did my camera die again? I think it's maybe overheating, but it does turn back on when I restart it.
在1月15号当日啊，3.0版本上线前啊，我们也会照例为玩家们带来一场直播节目，由温法罗斯当地的居民
Oh, this is what they were talking about.
烛火之旅开始前，奥赫马城中的生活。最后，
More war stuff.
到了小镇。17桩离奇的失踪案件，飞枭警长受命调查。
Yeah, I think my camera is overheated.
失踪者的故事都指向深海中不可名状的。
I'll let it cool down for a little bit.
在本次前瞻节目结束后啊，才发横溢的同人创作者将在 How File 频道为你呈现一场充满奇思妙想的。
Yeah, Sario's always been more generous than Genshin. I feel like they made that very apparent with the Doctor Ratio in 1.6.
还看到如此巨大的大地兽啊！
哎，他怎么又倒了？
哎，完了，欧陆尼斯的导言有时效。
Yeah, it's because of the power creep. I mean, with a turn-based game, I feel like it was kind of inevitable. Because, like, I don't know, I feel like Zenless shows the other side of it, like, where characters aren't as necessary to beat the end game, but because of that, I end up not spending Like I've gotten maybe like half of the banner characters in Zenless. I just don't feel any like need to get more just because I can already clear the content. So, and yeah, as much as it sucks that like new characters feel necessary to, okay, maybe not necessary, but they feel like they make the end game so much easier. It works. It does work, unfortunately. Like, I don't think you need every character. I think if you're a new Star Rail player, you can get away with like getting the main, like one DPS and one support for one team, and then another DPS support pair for another team. Like the just like stable archetypes, like Firefly Ruanmei for a break team, and then if you had like Fei Xiao Robin for another team, fill the rest with free-to-play units, like you'll probably be fine in the endgame for almost all of it. I mean, you know, pure fiction you might need some other characters, but I think you can get away with not having every character. But again, it's kind of hard for me to really say because I do try to get one copy of every character with no Eidolons, no light cones.
全部的拟造花萼、凝滞虚影和侵蚀隧洞都会提前开放，开拓者可以直接进入关卡进行挑战，获取想要的材料。而我们在黑塔空间站、贝洛伯格、仙州罗浮、皮诺康尼、乌法罗斯的世界商店中，也会新增每个世界的专属寻宝道具。
Okay, so they put treasure seeking items, so Herta's technique is pay to win, but also not.
获取宝箱奖励。
真不错啊，这下之前一些没找到宝箱就可以拿齐了。
还不止这些。
Yeah, I feel like Firefly and Fei Xiao, I don't think they're gonna have like the dramatic fall off that like Jingliu did over the past year. I just feel like the power level and the way teams work now is just too high of a point for them to fall off that hard.
除此以外啊，有系列的养成系统也会迎来迭代。在3.0版本，我们新增了培养指引的功能合集。 希望能让游戏的养成变得更加方便。
具体有哪些功能呢？可以展开讲讲吗？
通过培养指引，开拓者可以对角色。
I see what you're saying, but like I feel like
系统会给出角色等级、
if
经济等方面的提升建议。此外，开拓者还可以选择想要养成
like characters that are meta right now, they might not be the top of the meta in like say a year from now. But I still feel like they'll be able to clear all the content just because they're so strong and they have like supports that available that are able to like give them everything they want, all the stats they want. And even though like maybe another break character will come out that is better than Firefly at break, I still don't think that'll make Firefly a bad character. And of course, I mean, I'm saying that now. We'll see in a year from now, but
对已经强化至15级的5星仪器进行重置，重置后将对已有附属性的强化次数进行重新分配。
好，感觉3.0版本的系统优化还是非常多的。那么站在3.0这个大版本的节点上，能不能给我们透露一下后续版本的优化会有哪些呢
？I've not been paying attention to the stream, so I actually don't know what they said about the distribution of the relic stuff. But it does seem like it's going to be relatively limited.
您要进行好几次的合成操作，还有很多版本活动我们已经都玩过了。 但是资源还是会留在设备里头占据空间，再比如说多端互通上重复提示的红点的问题等等。我们的出发点就是希望《心灵铁道》是一款大家玩了不会感到累的游戏，而这些确实会让大家感到不爽、卡手的地方，就是我们要改进。
Yeah, I'm playing a video right now where I make predictions about like Star Rail, like stuff like the meta, stuff about like the types of characters that'll come out, and I think it would be fun in like a year from now to look back on that. And see if my predictions aged well or not. No way. Well, now my video aged poorly where I said that they wouldn't be adding skins for a really long time. I was actually ready to make a prediction that they wouldn't add skins for a long time. But why did they wait so long? Like, what were they waiting for? it's a really nice outfit, but dude, no, who uses preservation march? I'm assuming the phrasing is implying that you can't use it on hunt march, but people don't use this character. That's why I thought they wouldn't release it, because like no one who's gonna use preservation march in 2025. I guess it's only for running around the no, but it's like if you want to have it equipped, that means you can't have hunt march on. That kind of sucks, no? Well, I mean, at least now the floodgates are open. They can make skins for other characters now. I don't know who they would do. I feel like Kafka, probably the number one bet, because I would say Firefly, but Firefly fights in the Sam suit. I don't think... I feel like it would be much harder to design a skin for Sam, so I feel like Kafka has to be like the next best option. I don't know. If you see my video about skins though, I still think my points that I mentioned in that video hold. Like, they will, obviously they will make money from skins if they do sell them. The March one is free, but it doesn't make nearly as much money as a new character or selling light cones or selling eidolons, so they're not really incentivized to. They're really only doing it just to make that small fan base happy of people who would actually buy them, which is cool, and like I think they should do it, but ultimately definitely won't make them as much money. And it's also the thing, like, okay, what if I get a skin for Kafka and then she doesn't get a buff for a whole year? Then it's like, well, why did I buy this, you know?
翁法罗斯以及更多天外之人的记忆和未来都会变得更加清晰。
再次祝大家新年快乐！希望在新的一年里可以跟开拓者共度这段英雄之旅。愿你喜欢这段属于你的开拓。愿此行
终抵群星。拜拜。
Okay, it seems like it's about it. Okay, now I'm gonna go look back at the characters because I am still a little confused about what they do.
根据同样的，就请期待一下他的动画短片和清新汽油吧。
好，那接下来就请阿石老师为我们介绍一下黑塔女士的技能。
好的，阿黑塔是一名属性命图的冰属性角色，在战斗中她的表现也是非常的制。
Her basic attack is just okay, regular single target. I feel like it wouldn't be that crazy for erudition characters to have multi-target basic attacks, but so far still Jade only has that. But I guess because of the interaction with her stacks, probably wouldn't make sense for her. Okay, so I was confused by this before of like the number underneath the enemies, but that it's just like the enemy mechanic and not Herta's. So she deals damage based on the number of stacks. Okay, so it's not just like a detonation on her ultimate. It's just like an overall damage buff. AoE skill makes sense. Okay, they just cut to it having 42 stacks without showing it. I mean, I guess probably the Ascendant traces will have more to do with how it stacks, but it's kind of annoying that they didn't really explain it.
哦，也合理，毕竟宇宙的终极答案，对吧？
没错，但是我还没说完。只要他在队伍中，我方任意角色的攻击。
Any attacks by allies. Okay, so it makes sense to pair her with other erudition units. Which is why it makes sense to run her on the same team as Little Herta. So that's cool. I kind of expected that just because erudition characters tend to work really well together. But even with my whole team attacking, I guess it doesn't really explain how you get to 42 stacks. Wait, if there are other characters following the path of erudition on the team, damage. Okay, so she's also like Acheron, where it's like slightly path locked. I mean, it's not like a super hard lock because we've seen, I think the most used Acheron team has Sparkle and Aventurine as the sustain, so you are missing out on one nihility character for that damage boost, but people run it anyway just because you still do insane damage. So I mean, her kit interacts really well with AoE units, so I feel like it's probably probably a condition you're gonna end up fulfilling no matter what. Okay, I don't even think they explain how she gets her enhanced skill. Deals damage to all enemies based on these stacks. Primary target. And resets it. Oh, I think it was probably this. Like once you reach 20 stacks, you get an enhanced skill. Okay, that kind of makes sense. I mean, you need a skill point for both types of skill, so yeah, that makes sense. It resets it, so you also don't get the enhanced.
所以在多数时候，我们是不是要优先选择层数最高的敌人作为主目标？没错。那如果我层数叠错了，比如说最高的层数没有叠到 boss 身上
The enemy with the highest stacks is not the boss. Okay, so okay, that makes sense. Her ult will transfer like the most stacks from the weak enemy to the elite. It could be 21.
哦，也就是说不会出现大炮打蚊子的情况是吧？这也太智能了吧？不过是排序算法而已嘛。对他来说并不难。
Oh, I see. Yeah, she gets enhanced skill after her ult. Okay, that makes sense. Since after her ult, most of the stacks would be on one person anyway. Okay, so that makes sense. You stack up using a bunch of AoE attacks and then transfer it all to the main enemy.
而且在技能方面表现中会出现一些像画框、钥匙、锁孔这样的异象，这其实代表了大黑塔在不同的知识领域穿梭，想开启智慧之门感觉。
开启一扇门就关掉一个怪。
不，在实际战斗中，虽然敌人会一个个的被大黑塔攻击，但基本上都是一起被大黑塔干掉的。
好的，果然世上没人能负他。
大黑塔的秘技也很有自己的风格。使用秘技后，它可以在攻击，但基本上都是不同的知识领域穿梭，想开启智慧之门的感觉。
开启一扇门就
defeat enemies one by one. So attacks enemies one by one, and then ends battle by defeating them all at once. Okay, interesting. So Aglé will be definitely a little bit more interesting, but she doesn't come out until the second half. Okay. So she uses her skill here, and that summons. Okay, so I'm guessing she has a different type of skill once it's summoned. And then her talent is inflicting marks. That causes this summon to attack and gain a stack. And then her skill heals the summon. Heals the summon and then causes it to act, maybe? Okay, so this is interesting. I mean, it makes sense, like, the character that gets attacked gets energy, so usually it can actually help to just get hit. But if your summon tanks the damage, then you kind of lose out on that. So it makes sense that it's transferred to her. And then I guess if you take an AoE, then she gets twice as much energy. Since both her and the summon would be getting attacked. But they don't really explain if that's part of like inherent to Eglé's kit or if that's just a summon mechanic. After attacks, its speed increases. And then when she uses her ultimate, her own speed increases. And then the ult allows for the combined attacks. Enhanced basics, and then did they say what like the 6 out of 6 on her on her health bar is, or under her summon is, because it's not. It doesn't have to do with her ultimate. That was also interesting. Her skill gave her like no energy. Because it seems like she still has access to her skill, but she doesn't after she uses her ult. Okay, so the skill's the heal, and then let's see, did that also not give like any energy?
和理想中的自己一起跳舞，听上去还挺浪漫的。
敌人可能不会这么认为。在这场双人舞中，阿格莱亚会给敌人添加标记，一将会攻击阿格莱亚标记过的敌人。
It also looked like, okay, they definitely didn't mention this, that when the summon first attacks here, I think it showed like her getting another crit buff.
面上看，一将是可以单独行动的。
She heals it, gets like no energy back.
是可以的，不过无论是一将攻击敌人还是受到攻击，都会帮助阿格莱亚回能。
Oh yeah, I think you're right about the speed boost.
阿格莱亚的好帮手。
一将的作用远不止这些。当一将对敌人进行攻击后，一将自己
attacks up to 6 times and then gets
阿格莱亚释放终结技后
6 out of 6 on speed.
速度也会提高，并且他还会和一将合力攻击敌人。也就是说，在一次行动中，阿格莱亚和一将都会对敌人进行攻击。
Okay, so this one is blast targeting. I didn't notice that on the first time.
都会对敌人进行攻击，这个合击能对敌人造成更高伤害，还能进一步提升一将的速度。
听起来他们俩在
Then wait, let me go back again.
在一次行动中，阿格莱亚和一将都会对敌人进行攻击，这个合击。
Like, what are all these crit buffs on the bottom? Where is she getting that from? I mean, it could just be like when she does her first enhanced basic attack, she gets insane crit. It looked like it was blessed to me. Yeah. Pretty sure it's only targeting these three. Yeah, it only hits 3 enemies there as well. Okay, we saw what they said about the speed.
是的，毕竟阿格莱亚接受过严格的弓琴剑术训练，就是阿格莱亚内心另一侧面的写照。
舞蹈也有结束之时，被召唤出来的一将也会消失，迎来谢幕。不过，舞蹈也有结束之时，被召唤出。
Oh, I see. Okay, so she has the thing on the action order that will remove the summon. Presumably put it back at 0 stacks, and then she has to summon it again and stack up again. Yeah, that's so interesting. That so Huahua's heal that is like blast targeting. She puts it on the summon and it heals Aglaia and Sunday for like the smaller amount, but that also means like you can't heal 3 members at once, basically. Or like you wouldn't be able to heal Robin in this situation as well. But she does get the heal off on the summon.
感觉作为召唤物，一将对于战斗的参与方式会更加多样化。
没错的，
阿格莱亚只是一个开始，在踏上温法罗斯的旅途后，开拓者还会和形形色色。
Okay, so definitely she's more the attacker type, and then Trailblazer is the more supportive type. I didn't completely catch all of what they do. So, okay, their skill also seems to be the summon. And gives charges when any ally regenerates energy. Okay, so wow, this this looks like the lineup. Just Huahua, Sunday, and then remembers Trailblazer, so you can get max energy regen. Robin's burst would. Oh yeah, well for. No, I don't think Robin's action advance works on it because Sunday specifically mentions that it action advances summons and Robin's doesn't. So that I feel like it wouldn't. Hello, Kook. Yeah, it's been a while since I streamed, but I was really looking forward to this reveal. So, okay, gives charges by using skill or ultimate, and then gets to 100. So this is the ultimate. It's just big AoE slap. And then, okay, so this is a memo sprite skill. Looks like it doesn't fall under the traditional skill or ultimate. So that's interesting, because instead, I mean, you know, most characters, they build up to get their ultimate, but Trailblazer, or Remembrance Trailblazer, use their skill and their ultimate to build up for the memo sprite skill. Which I don't think we saw one of these from Meglea. I'm not sure if we did. And then, okay, activated, and then one ally gets super buffed. Okay, we see true damage. It's like a pinkish blue color. It's like March 7th colors on that text. Yeah, I think the charge mechanic is like the memo sprite skill, and the charge mechanic is unique to them. I don't think Meglea has that, as far as I can tell, but it's probably something they're gonna use for maybe a future Remembrance character too. And then, okay, this is interesting. True damage compared to super break damage. True damage is a special kind of damage. So it's like a bonus damage from what it sounds like. Like you do your amount, and then maybe it doesn't seem like it would scale off of. Okay, maybe it scales off like the user's attack. So in this case, it would scale off of Meglea's attack, but then probably has its own like modifiers. Because I mean, they said it's like super break, so it probably can't crit. Ignores debuffs. All buffs are debuffs on the other team, but that's so weird because there's not that many enemies that like have buffs or debuffs that would affect damage. Maybe like the only one I could think of is like enemies that buff themselves to ignore toughness damage. Maybe if you have this buff, or if you deal this type of damage, you could ignore that. But it doesn't, I mean, it's damage and not like toughness damage, so I'm not even sure about that. So like the wording directly damages kind of implies that it ignores defense. Maybe it has like inherent defense shred on it. But yeah, it doesn't look like it can crit. Does this, I thought it implied that it only ignored enemies. Additional type of damage. Ignores all but on either team. That's really weird. I mean, okay, it can't crit, and we don't know what it scales off of. I thought it scaled off attack, but then it would make attack buffs kind of useless. It's very strange. Maybe it's just like a flat damage buff and doesn't scale. Okay, so maybe it's like it doesn't scale, but it ignores defense, and like that's the trade-off. Yeah, they are completely different. So like, okay, basically it seems like the only like connecting thread between remembered summons is that they aren't on the field by default. They have to be summoned. Maybe like, I'm sure we could get a character that just like automatically summons with their technique or whatever, but by default they're not summoned, and then they have unique traits, and they can have their own resource bar. Okay, I mean, Remembrance Trailblazer seems pretty cool. I feel like they didn't really show how fast its stuff charges. And it the true damage support only being on one ally is interesting as well. Because I kind of assumed that Meglea and Genuine would be good on the same team. because of I also assumed that Remembrance Trailblazer would just like buff summon damage. So it definitely seems more hyper carry focused. Yeah, it could do percent health damage. That would be pretty interesting. An interesting way to take it. That would also more so benefit. Okay, well, it seems like true damage probably benefits more on characters that attack more often, which makes sense why they would pair it with Aglaia, because she's all about like speed increases, right? So that design direction would make sense.
真实伤害是个什么意思？之前好像都没有出现过。我觉得可以类比一下超级破伤害吧。
But I didn't think they would add another type of damage. Like, I thought Super Break was going to be it for a while, and they were just going to explore like the stuff that's in the game already. But I guess it is cool that they're still expanding.
真实伤害呢，也是一种特殊的伤害类型，你可以理解为。
But like the comment about it not getting affected by buffs is so weird to me, because it's like I feel like the whole reasoning for adding a new damage type is so that you could add like support around it. Like you would think that they would add a support that like increases true damage dealt, but then this one sentence kind of throws that out the window. It's like, oh, I didn't even think about that. I kind of just assumed that it would buff the character and their summon, but I guess that's not really implied. Do they show it? I don't think they show the summon attacking. But like, that's the thing, like, do the characters match the buffs with their summons? Because Sunday, his skill explicitly states it buffs it for both summons, but it doesn't, at least on the UI, it doesn't really look like they're separate. I mean, Penacony was Super Break, so I think they want even every year more damage types. That's true, but I feel like they could have done more to explore with like, well, I think the HP stacking archetype like Blade and Jade would be cool, but I can also see why that might run into some problems. They might be setting up true damage for March's supposed new form that they've been alluding to. Yeah, because that makes sense. True damage is the same color, but it's like, why'd they release the skin? Like, that also just makes things confusing. It's like, why would they release this as a new outfit for preservation when they could have just made it her new remembrance path? Or maybe not remembrance, maybe some other path, but it's all very confusing. And wait, is that like these little ice things supposed to be little pom-poms? Wait, were they always like that and I'm just tripping? Dude, the skin is so, it's such a weird decision. I like kind of don't like it. I feel like they should have just made it a new path. That would have made it so much less confusing. And no one wants to use preservation March. Like, I mean, I'm sure some people are gonna try running the team. Yeah, my video kind of aged poorly because I thought that they wouldn't be adding them for a while. But to be fair, this decision still is weird to me. Like, I feel like it goes against the stuff, or like the direction that they've been going like all this time. That's true. Like supports that give like aura buffs, like Ronmei and Robin, they still count as buffs though, like on the character. Like if you open up the buff menu, it'll still show up. So yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just have to wait and see how the whole ignoring all buffs and debuffs thing kind of works. Okay, so now I'm trying to think, okay, how does these summons affect sustain supports? I feel like Huahala maybe struggles a little bit more because she has she'll have more targets to like heal, and her heal only hits 3 people. So people with AoEs like Lingsha probably have more value in these scenarios. Don't know how well she'll work on some teams, but I feel like shielders are still kind of in the dumps. I mean, everyone's been saying like with the Aventurine bug that he doesn't grant bonus shield to like the lowest health ally. It makes it really hard to like make sure that none of your teammates die, which is true. But like if summons are also affected by that, doesn't that also kind of suck? So I feel like we'll need like I feel like they're gonna be incentivized to make like another like really big AoE shielder, which I feel like don't know how I feel about that, because that might make Aventurine like obsolete in that sense. Oh yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. Because summons are targetable, then AoE targeting ally abilities like Robin's ultimate probably work on them. Yeah. I mean, I think they probably won't replace Aventurine. Oh yeah, I had my Faith came on before, but it ran, or I think it overheated, so I had to let it cool down for a little bit. I feel like Aventurine like loses value, because if there's like more summons, then it's more potential targets for his like bonus shield to affect. But then we did see that enemy that steals health, so he might be really useful for that. Yeah, that's actually true. He will get 1 more sec if the summon gets hit by an AoE. Only by 1 though. I feel like that's not that big of a difference. Like if you're getting hit by AoEs, you're getting follow-ups pretty fast regardless. So I mean, you know, it helps, but I don't think it's gonna be that crazy. I mean, I guess maybe if you have like 3 characters with summons, then he gets 3 more sacks. He can charge an entire follow-up from 1 AoE. That could be interesting, but I also don't think it'd like make him crazy.
又被称为天谴之矛，作为纷争泰坦，他和他的信徒们对战争和战斗有一种狂热的。
Is this the one? Okay, this one. It kind of like that bar at the top just kind of makes me think it's like Fule. Like you just keep attacking it.
增益，荣耀越多越顺利，的确是为
都的泰坦神。在与他的交战中呢，开拓者需要积攒
collect glory stacks。
尼卡多利的泰坦神躯，我方角色在持有荣耀。
I mean, as far as I can tell, it's just from hitting it. So.
耀时使用战技或终结技都可以增加荣耀，获得增益。
荣耀越多越顺利，的确是为勇敢者准。
Because summon Svarog that just intercepts your team, like a counter summon. I could see that happening for sure.
战斗
是的，尼卡多利呢又被称为天谴之矛，作为纷争泰坦。
Yeah, this literally just looks like mini Hule, but he doesn't like fight back against you in the same way.
在战斗中，他会投掷锋利的矛对敌人发动攻击，还会挥舞巨剑对敌人发动神潜。
Okay, but this animation is so crazy.
之前好像在哪个地图上面
直接回答你了，就是旋风城上空悬着的那边。
所以纷争泰坦就是连自己的城邦都要。
And then I steal HP. But you get it back from attacking it. So you don't really need a shield if you can like break those things fast enough. You don't even need to break the whole thing. Like you just do a portion and maybe get like 75% and then be like healthy enough to finish the battle. But I mean, is an AoE type of enemy in this phase, I suppose. Oh wait, it's linked. Like I see the chain here, but I don't see it on the other ones. So no, it's not. So I guess okay, the health bars aren't linked. I don't know why the chain is there unless I'm missing something. New enemy. Their whole thing is taking X amount of attacks and they take a lot of damage. It's supposedly trying to incentivize people to use remembrance. I mean, okay, I guess if remembrance, well, for Eglea specifically, she does like more attacks because of her summon. So yeah, I mean, kind of shameless. Which limited character? I go for all of the characters. I just try to get them one copy. No Eidolons, no Lycones on any of them, but I like having all the characters just for the sake of my collection, and also just being able to use them later if I need to. Oh, okay, I see. It's like the chain there and then the targeting here.
先用矛把我方角色的灵魂钉住，然后再用巨剑进行毁灭，他下手还真挺狠的。
当然，除了这些呢，我们的新敌人也有爱偷东西的小偷。
Okay, was there anything else I wanted to look at? Okay, the banners.
获取限定五星角色大黑塔。
Herda.
限定五星光锥，向着不可追问处获取的概率将提升。除此之外，在 3.0 版本的上半。
Oh, wait. There is 8 banners. That's so crazy. What? Okay. I mean, well, I feel like Linkshot just ran. Yeah, the imaginary boys and quantum girls agenda is actually insane. Like, I cannot believe that not only are they continuing it in 3.1, but they did one of each. And then, okay, so Herda first, play second. No 4 stars. Oh, right, no 4 stars in 3.1. That's interesting, because we're gonna have to go. Wait, when was the last 4 star we got? It was like Moza in like 2.5. Was he came out in 2.5, right? So yeah, it came out 2.5. So there'll be 4 patches with no 4 star. I'm kind of surprised. I thought that, you know, they introduced so many characters, like there are so many characters on the screen right now, and you're telling me not one of them is a 4 star? I mean, I guess like they want to make that 5 star money, but surely one of them has to be a 4 star, right? It was like we saw the 12. Okay, well, we did see 12, like the 12 flame chasers, right? They're called, and there's gonna be 8 patches, so that is enough patches for them to all be 5 stars. But like, there's no way. Like, there's no way. I can see some of these people being 4 stars. Okay, not him, but not her either. I mean, I guess in a way, like Trailblazer, technically 5 star, but like, well, actually no, they're kind of beating the allegations because they're actually good now, so they're like actually at 5 star level. But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm getting confused because there's 3 of this little girl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm not counting Trailblazers. There's 8 here. Yeah, I mean, realistically, they could all be 5 stars. Yeah, I got confused. I was like, okay, these 2 girls are the same character. I know that, but then right here, do you guys think that there will be more by the end of the year? By the end of 25, will there be more preservation characters or more remembrance characters? Because originally I thought like they were gonna really expand out like the summon archetype, but now kind of unsure because they don't necessarily like all work together in the same way that Super Break does. They do kind of seem to really be pushing like unique mechanics, so I feel like it's also harder for them to develop them. But at the same time, they made all this effort to make a new path. They're giving us a free light cone for it. I feel like they're going to want to push it in version 3. Yeah, preservation's in a bad spot right now. I just don't know what they could do to like it's either you get Aventurine 2 or Fushuen 2. It's like there's no there's not really many options for them there compared to like Abundance, where they just throw any mechanic onto a healer, call it a day. Yeah, path balance is not real. It's not real. Also, it's crazy that they showed us these relic sets and they didn't even tell us what they do. Is there anything else I want to talk about? I feel like that was about it. I mean, what was it? These other enemies? Is it okay? Are they actually meant to look like Sunday? Like this one guy over here, he actually just looks like Sunday, like in his new outfit. So they have stacks that's basically like the Penacony enemies, like that from 2.6, 2.7. Wait, that was cool. When they die, they just turn to dust. Okay, so it kind of is like the most recent Memory of Chaos, where it's like doing more hits it seems like it would be more beneficial than trying to just go for upfront damage. Mini layered shields that stack. Yeah, I feel like they kind of need to go that route, because it's like, okay, if you introduce like an AoE shielder, shields are still on a timer, like a 3-turn timer, I think by default. Maybe it might be 2, but like once a character uses 3 turns, the shield is gone unless they have a way to refresh it. Like that's why Aventurine needs his follow-up shield, so that he can refresh the cooldown. There's just so much they have to do to make preservation characters work, man. It's so bad. I mean, yeah, I feel like it's so hard to top Aventurine. Like he does everything, right? Increase crit damage, launch follow-ups, has follow-up synergy. Like what do you even do? All right, I think probably end it there. Some good discussion, I think. And I feel like I'm probably gonna make a video talking about some of this. I'll probably have to do a little bit more analysis before I get like my thoughts fully together. But I will have to start that video from scratch, so probably won't come out for maybe a week. Yeah, but I think it would be interesting to talk about like what separates the Remembrance Path, like what future things they could do with it, and also how it'll affect other characters, specifically like the sustains that will work with them. And then for true damage, I feel like probably need to know more about it before I can really discuss it in depth, so probably won't touch on that too much. But yeah, probably gonna end it there. Thank you guys all for coming and hanging out with me. I don't know when the next time I stream is. I don't really plan to. I don't even know if I'm going to do the next live stream, to be honest. But yes, stay tuned for more videos coming soon, and Happy New Year. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to go to sleep now because I haven't slept, and it's now 8 a.m. Good night. Goodbye. Good night.